Next on the agenda, we have a past president of the Cleveland Cultural Gardens, a Greek who served, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I don't know. But anyhow, Dr. Parras and his love of the gardens will say a few words. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. Thanks. I'd like to congratulate the Federation and the Friends of the Greek Cultural Garden and all Greeks in the Cleveland area for what I think is a fantastic completion of this great monument. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. I was part of the Federation for about 10 years, and my thanks to Andy Tikalis because he's the one that got me involved. It was a wonderful time, and I think a big reason that I stayed was because, well, maybe because I was the only one that was wanting to do it, but the theme, the meaning of what's here, I think is something that's really, it goes beyond just a community garden. And as a community garden, it's incredibly impressive, but what it means on a larger level is really wonderful. And I'm really excited about the current leadership and how the Federation as a whole is moving forward. A lot of great things have happened down here since I've left. So the whole thing about cultural memory, why you commemorate your cultural heritage, why do you do that? And why do we do this? Why do we spend all this money? Why do we come here on a wet day like this and give all these talks? I think that our cultural heritage is who we are. It defines us as people, as communities, as nations. It's our identity. It's what we believe, what we think, how we feel, how we relate to the world, what we think about life, and that's expressed in our music. It's in our fashion, in our science, in our architecture. Obviously, those of us that are of Greek heritage have a great heritage. The contributions that ancient Greece has made to Western culture is, staggering. I was looking up some stuff the other day, and I came across a quote by Pericles from 2,500 years ago. This is during the start of the Peloponnesian War. And you guys have probably heard this before, but it said, "Future ages will wonder at us as present age wonders at us now," which is quite a heady statement. This is a culture that has really reshaped Western civilization and made tremendous contributions to our current way of life, and it still impacts us. So it's something we should be very proud of. And that is something that we need to preserve for ourselves, but also pass on to our kids and future generations. So I just want to say something about the bigger picture here. We're sitting in a park right now that contains, 33 or 34 cultural gardens right now? And growing. And the concept of the cultural gardens was established in the early 1900s. It was during the Great Immigration, when people were coming over from Europe and they were, establishing themselves in this new American world, a new world. And they were very happy to shed their heritage and change their name. My name was Parras, got changed to Parras. And there's so many similar examples of that. So there was sort of a tendency to adopt this new American culture, whatever that culture was. But the cultural gardens, ironically, started at that same time, and they pushed back against that concept. And they promoted the idea that we're not a melting pot, we're a multicultural mosaic, that we are a combination of distinct cultures. And because of that, we are enriched, because we're provided with more choices and opportunities than we would have otherwise had. So I think that's quite a heady concept. But the bigger part of this idea was that if we accept the fact that we are multicultural and we try to understand our differences, then that puts us in a better position to have a more harmonious relationship. So the central message of the cultural gardens was peace through mutual understanding. That's the main theme. One of our hopes is that at some point these gardens, which are really unparalleled in this country, will establish more of a national profile. So I think you guys are the perfect ones to take that on. There's a quote by a Judge Joseph Sawicki from 1953 when they did a One World Day in the Polish Garden, and I thought this really summed up the whole idea of the cultural gardens and how powerful their message is. So I just want to close with this. It says, the Cleveland Cultural Gardens are symbolic of the hope that the day may dawn when jealousy, suspicion, hatred, and strife may forever cease and be supplanted by universal peace and friendship among all peoples of the world. They are the expression of the hope that the culture of nations may never be ruthlessly destroyed, but instead reverently preserved as a sacred heritage for all posterity. So, something to think about. Thank you very much.